Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel, but more specifically, welcome to Thorseby Park. Now, Thorseby Park is the home of Outlaw X. And Outlaw X is a half Ironman distance triathlon which is being held at the end of September, and it is scheduled to go ahead, touch wood at the minute, as we speak on Friday the 30th of July or 31st, I lose track. So today's video is all about the bike course. I've ridden the course 5 or 6 times now, and I thought I'd just share my tips for the course, where I think you can save some time, where I think you should be cautious. Disclaimer before we get started, this doesn't in any way replace the event briefing. I'm in no way affiliated with Outlaw, they've not endorsed this at all, so please do make sure you go to the event briefing and don't fly around corners thinking, well, I've seen TriathlonDan's video and if there's any hazards he would have pointed them out. I probably missed a lot. So I'm going to try and show you, as I said, where I think you can make some time on to try and ride the fastest bike split you can. Now, that's incredibly nice, Daniel. Why would you do something like that? Well, that's because you're going to click the subscribe button and the like button. And if and when you pass me on race day on the bike, just give me a little push from behind. Just give me a little hand up those hills, please. Anyway, let's chat. Let's get on the bike course. So if you are coming to recce the course, now I really would recommend it. You'll come out of a car park entrance down there if you pay for the parking, not tight and park on the road. Yeah, actually on race day, come out of this junction here just to the right. So transition's probably a few hundred meters down there. Then you come out of that junction, obviously it's managed on race day, so you don't need to keep an eye out of traffic normally, nor the marshals let you out, and you go straight down here. And that is it, adrenaline buzz, let's go. So the first couple of miles is actually pretty fast going, depending which way the wind's going, obviously. So I'd probably say, just take that couple of miles just to ease into it. Obviously your heart rate's going to be high from the swim, etc. Don't do what I'm going to do and stack it at this roundabout. Yeah, it's quite a tight roundabout, about 3 or 4 minutes into the ride, so just take it easy. It's quite bumpy as well, so you don't want to... Nobody wants to be that guy to fall off on the first corner where there's loads of spectators. Not cool. And then it opens up again onto a nice stretch of road. So about 2.5 miles in, you've got a sharp left turn. It's an acute turn, so it's smaller than 90 degrees. That's probably the wrong terminology. Basically, don't stack it here either, because you're on quite a fast bit of road. There's a nice little downhill. You can see quite a way ahead, so get on the gas. Then you come to a humpback bridge. On race day, on race day this is managed, so you can just fly through, but not today. So 4.5 miles in now, there's just a sharp right junction, but again, they're well signed, so just keep your eyes open. And then this next bit, probably about 5 miles in, it's really poor surface going downhill, so although it's fast, I actually have been going on this bit on the tops, not on my aero bars, just because it's that bad. You really want to make sure your bottles are secured for this course, because there's a lot of places where you could drop them. All the way down here is rough, so I'm actually going to put my camera away now because it's that bumpy. The main question I've had is about the hill on the course. So you'll see it coming up about 5.5 to 6 miles, and it'll give it away because the road goes up. It's a bit of a clue. Yeah, let's see how steep it is. So time trialing, bike splits, etc. To ride a fast split, in my opinion, think less about going fast and think more about not going slowly. So on the hard bits like this, I'd actually say really press on. Keep within, don't go above like VO2 max sort of power or heart rate. You'll probably be forced to more than anything. I'm doing 400 watts just to keep moving, so it's fairly steep. Should we get a percentage? It's just saying it's 14%. 15. That might not be accurate, but it certainly ramps up. I'll sit at the top, probably 2.5, 3 minutes in total. And there's a nice downhill, so what I do is kick on over the top, just try and get on, up a couple of gears, get your speed up and then recover whilst you're moving quickly, rather than recovering at the top and then pressing on after 30 seconds or a minute or so. Just give it that extra dig and get a bit of speed up. So we've now done 6.5 miles. We're just on the road just before Tuxford. We've done a little rise, which is probably 10 seconds if that. There's a nice long downhill into Tuxford. So you'll be 8.5 miles in, you just come into Tuxford. There's a right turn junction there. Make sure you power on after the junction. Spend as little time as you can going slowly. And then there's a lovely long bit of road, goes on for miles, so probably not much to report. So I'll see you the other side of that. So just coming out of Tuxford, I believe there's a separate points available if you can set the speed camera off. Hopefully nobody pulls out on you like this dude does. Yeah, cheers for that. So some super good going, but then at 11.5 miles, got a right junction. So just be aware because it's slightly downhill, so you'll be flying. And as normal, accelerate hard off the junction. And then this next bit, you want to, depends where the wind's going. If it was a headwind like it is today, then I'd press on quite hard. If it's a tailwind, it's easily the fastest part on the course. So I take that bit of time to recover and perhaps ride at a power less than what you want to average because it'll be so fast. So about 13.5, 14 miles, you turn left towards Sundown Adventureland. Now this corner, if you get a wide entry, if there's no traffic, you can keep it pinned all the way around. I've done it a couple of times. No need to lift off. Once you hit the apex right, nice wide exit. Save you a few seconds there. So 17 miles in, you take a left turn, and again, if you swing out wide, you can keep on the gas. You might have to lift off a little bit, but it's all like getting a smooth line. So you come out here, hit that apex, let's go straight for the next one. Obviously you've got to stay on your side of the road, otherwise you get told off or DQ'd, but you can just about get around there. So I'm about 19 miles in. It's quite a long draggy climb. It's not very steep at all, but you're probably down to about 15 miles an hour or so. So again, race day, I'll certainly be pressing on up here. Not mental, but certainly digging into probably around thresholdish. Beautiful day there, my heart rate is absolutely sky high. Let's hope it's cooler than today. About 20 miles, you turn right, quite a sharp turn, then you come down this lovely lane. It's downhill, really good surface, you can really get some speed up here. I've spun out top gear a couple of times, and you want to carry some momentum up the hill the other side. Enjoy this bit. Woo. Yeah, there's a little short, sharp kick out, so if you've carried enough speed, you'll fly up this. So at 22.5 miles, really, you don't need to get caught out by this corner. Obviously, be less traffic here race day, but we go left here. This is really sharp bend. Don't stack it there. 28 miles in, this is where it starts getting a bit more rolling. If you've gone too hard in the first half, you will pay for it in the second half. I would definitely save some, because a lot of these ups and downs, to ride the fastest over, they need to surge up the ups. And they might not look massive, but there's quite a few of them. So 32 miles in, take a left off the main road, you can keep it absolutely pinned around there. But there's a little left-right complex, you can just about not dab the brakes. If you get the right line, so come out wide, take the apex left, and then come in wide, hit the apex in the middle. You can just about not touch the brakes there. Think about touching the brakes as a sin, and all that energy you're putting in is completely wasted when you touch the brakes. It's the most inefficient thing you can do, but you don't want to die either, so balance the two, eh? About 34 miles, there's a few speed bumps. So keep your eyes open, because if you haven't already lost your bottles, you will do there. 36 miles in, this way you can tell they've had to add little loops on to make the distance up. So right here, you have to be careful on junctions like that, because they'll DQ you if you cross the centre line. So you've really got to slow down and take a wide entry to the corner. Rightfully so, you know, in case there's a car coming. Then you get down here, and there's quite a sharp left as well that you need to back off for a bit. Yeah, so just over 36 miles in, there's no signs or anything at the minute. Probably a caution sign on race day, but this left's quite tight, quite bumpy on the inside as well. There we go, then we go up to a junction and left again. 37.5 miles, little tight right-hander. It's a bit gravelly at the minute, they normally brush it for race day, but better safe than sorry. Yeah, so short little right corner there. So this is where you're sort of 18 miles from the finish, so you start sniffing the finish lines. This is where, if you're feeling good, put a bit more in, make it up. If you're not, you've got to think about that half marathon. Keep that in mind as you're doing the last 10-15 miles. You can do a lot of damage trying to gain 30 seconds and lose minutes on the run, but yeah, got another few miles of flat, and then in the last 5 miles or so, there's quite a lot of up and down. There's a lot to be made, a loss there. So about 41 miles in, you come from that road there, sharp right turn. Again, the junctions are normally managed by Outlaw. Then you go down there, and then the same thing, another sharp right turn, but again, it should be managed. But two quite sharp corners you want to keep an eye on. About 45.5 miles in, just a lot of this. Slightly down, slightly up. It's good surface though. So yeah, it's okay. The wind's in a good direction today for this bit as well. It's quite exposed, so on a bad day it could be horrible. 47.5 miles in, come to a roundabout. You're going first exit. Kicks up a little bit, but then it's pretty flat, so you want to surge out the roundabout, get some speed up and crack on. And very shortly after, you come to a couple of roundabouts. You want to think about the fastest line. The road's going to be really quiet, so provided there's no traffic, you know, take the shortest route. You don't need to sit in the actual lanes that say left and right. And then you're going right up here. So again, just take the fastest line. Oh dear, so I'm 49.5 miles in. I was just about to start telling you about one of the last 3 or 4 little rises before the finish. So 6 miles to go. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show it you because I managed to jam my chain in between the big ring and the small ring somehow. Tried to get it out and I can't. So unfortunately, Liz is having to come and pick me up, take me the 6 miles to my car, then I'm driving home. So sorry about that, Liz. Sorry, you guys, for the rubbish footage on the side of the road and for not finishing the bike course. But I will try and give you a little overview verbally. It goes up and down a little bit for the last 6 miles and then you finish. So there you go. I hope that's been of some help to some people who perhaps aren't able to recce the course, but if you do get a chance to recce it, please do. Let me know down below, as I said earlier, if you're doing the event. I'll hopefully see you there and we'll get a good day's racing out. I know this year's not been ideal, has it? But hopefully get something out of it. You want me to go over there to her? She doesn't know how far I've cycled. You took your time, didn't you?
Today, thank you.
Hello, Liz.
Hi.
Are you okay?
Well, I was until I learned to drive here.
Thank you.
I bet you didn't fancy cycling up that hill, did you? That's what it is.
I've been up it 6 times. You've been up it once. Shut up. Or twice. Good evening, Liz. How are you?
Right.
Okay. Would you like to the outro? Quick copyright.
What's the outro? You do it.
Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't already,
click that subscribe button
and
hit the like button.
Yeah, and we'll see you
tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you gotta get a bit more slick. Come on, they expect a high standard. Cheers, guys. As soon as I press stop on this camera, I'm getting it in the neck. So hope you enjoy this. Bye.